Welcome back, episode 62 of Revisited. I am not feeling well. So
you also did not do the 1, 2, 3.
I sure did not. I am off.
Oh,
I am
goodness
off.
gracious.
I'll just match up the voices this time.
Oh, good luck.
It is what it is. Yeah, so we're doing Coco. Coco is my favorite Pixar movie of all time. And this one is called Disney Pixar's Coco Sucks. A couch commentary by something Randall or something. I don't know.
I didn't. I thought you would, but I
Why
didn't.
would you think I would?
Well, you know what? We're both at fault here.
Sure.
Let's see. Rendan Lovell.
Okay. Rendan Lovell.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't know him. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
I am very interested to see what they have to say in terms of Coco, because if it's something about the Mexican culture, I got nothing for you.
Nothing for you. But, you know, I watched it, and I'm like, let me watch it with a critical eye to see try to predict what his arguments would be. Mm-hmm. And I couldn't.
It's so good, dude.
It's a really tight movie. Now, there's little things like, oh, the whole family hates music, and he goes over there and just like he meets up with a dude, and he's the music, and that inspires him, and little things like how did he get all those memorabilities and stuff, but I'm like, he's got a job, he's a kid, he probably dumpster dove for those or asked people, so that's not even really an issue. There's no plot issues really. The dog is really a thing that it's just like it's a kid's movie. The dog needs to be there. It's a little mascot thing, but then it plays into the plot. I was just sitting there just going, what? What is there for 28 minutes and for you to say that it sucks? So I'm really interested in but like you said, if it's the Mexican culture thing, hey, you know.
Yeah, because we're recording this on quote-unquote Day of the Dead.
Yes.
And it's going up on quote-unquote Day of the Dead.
Yes.
But it's quote-unquote not everybody celebrates Day of the Dead the same day.
One of those weird things.
Yeah. All right.
But this is the most prominent day that I can see.
Okay.
Remember me, don't let it make you cry.
Can I pause real quick?
What color is the sky in your more?
Every song is a hit.
Every banger.
Hit is a banger. It is just wall to wall, just like, holy this is not fair.
On top of being bangers, again, it kind of ruins musicals for me because it's all integrated within the story as opposed to just the entirety of the city just breaking out into song and dance.
And as always with Hector with the little... that always
and Miguel does a
me.
Slight nod right before.
He just does this little turn around motion. It's so good. Oh my goodness. And I just love the way that the skeletons move as well. Like their body will move, but their head will stay stationary. And sometimes the body would spin and the head would spin, and then the body would stop spinning, but the head would continue to. Just animation stuff like that. It's just like really good. And all the skeletons have the markings on them. They all have different types of markings.
Yeah. So, I think it would have been a little too much if it was markings based on like what they were in life. Like you got musical notes or something. I think that would have been a little too much.
That's going into My Little Pony cutie mark territory.
Color is the sky, I'm amor, I'm amor.
Well, I hope we don't get hit for this.
I mean, I'm probably just gonna mute it after 5 seconds each time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where should I put my shoes? I'm amor, I'm amor. You say put them on your head. I'm amor.
Man, that song.
Hello and welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Couch Commentary, the show where I sit on a nice, comfortable couch and talk about the occasional movie. Today, I want to talk about Coco. Now, Coco is not a good movie. I know that everyone loves this movie for some reason, and I also know that this Disney film also won both Academy Awards it was up for at...
What was it? Best achievement in music? How could it not?
Remember Me, both are bangers. Oh boy.
And that piece of De La Cruz turning it into like this dance pop number.
Oh my god, this like in love ballad sort of thing. Oh, he is such a slime ball.
From beginning to end.
And when Miguel is getting dragged away, he's like, no, but I'm your grandson. He's like, and he was my best friend. Oh! And he just slightly turns his head
as he's getting dragged away. It's just this dark profile.
Dude. De La Cruz is legit money.
And when he's dancing with the grandma, the great grandma,
that choreography as she's trying to keep it, and they're both still trying to. And back Saturday when it was just like, well, who's your favorite Disney villains? I almost said De La Cruz, but then I'm like, oh, we're gonna be doing this, and
yeah,
I don't know how many people actually saw Coco, so I'll just hold off on that. But yeah, De La Cruz, he is a piece of
Disney-owned Oscar ceremony, which obviously means that it's a good movie. But it's not. Just because it made money or won awards doesn't necessarily mean that it's
didn't make a whole lot of
good.
money. It didn't make like normal $1 billion mark type of money.
I don't think Pixar movies make billions, unless you're talking about things like The Incredibles. I think it did like 800 mil.
Yep, 800 mil. So that's still good.
Yeah. I mean, if you're comparing it to like a Toy Story, of course not. But it probably did more than a
Cars 2?
WALL-E? Maybe.
I'm pretty sure WALL-E seems like it would be in the 500s. Let's see. 521.
Yeah, okay.
We both have our moments.
Disney pays us as well to know this info.
Or follow my channel at all, you know by now that I have a certain disdain for Disney as a company.
Okay, that's your problem.
Yep, we're already in here. So you're walking in going, this is a Disney property, and you've already made up your mind.
Disney, as you know, is notorious when it comes to protecting their world of characters. Okay, for example, if I tried to use Snow White in a sketch for even 10 seconds, Disney would launch a lawsuit into my ass, okay?
I feel like every single one of...
That's not necessarily true, because they own Disney Snow White, but I don't think they own Snow White itself.
I think...
Because Snow White and the whatevers, the
Seven Dwarfs?
No, the Christian whoever... Oh, the Horsemen, or whatever it was. I think that was Snow White, but it was different. Like, it wasn't a Disney property from old girl with the Twilight films.
Kristen Stewart?
Yeah. I was thinking Kristen Crack, and that's Lana from Smallville.
But let's just say, even if that is true, do you think that you can use Goku for 10 seconds without getting into some kind of trouble?
See, I think it's a little different with Disney because they weren't Disney properties. It was public domain, and they just kind of co-opted it into the Disney umbrella.
But, who would be bumping... Tell me a Grimm's fairy tale that's not the ones that we know.
I actually read the Grimm's fairy tale comics.
What a nerd. That's why you sick.
Because I read comics?
Yes.
Of their recent movies is incredibly similar. It's just the same thing over and over and over again.
Those were all three vastly different tales.
Yes. At least from Frozen and Moana, I have not seen Princess and the Frog.
I have vastly different tales.
No, but they're all the same thing over and over.
I mean, if you're thinking is the adventure.
The adventure, probably it starts with a character wanting something more in life. 'Cause that's Moana, and that's kind of Frozen, and it is Coco.
For Princess and the Frog, she just wants the money to buy the restaurant her father always wanted. And she gets the money, and then the people that own it were just like, well, they spent more money, so you can't have it.
Oh, well, that goes right out the window. But I don't understand because, okay, 2 female characters that can bounce off of each other with a male love interest, going over to Moana.
Only for one of them. It's not like a triangle
not
thing.
like a triangle thing. But over to Moana, you got a big spirit guy and a little girl, 0 romantic interest there. Coco, his parental figure and a little kid. What could be the exact same thing?
It's got to be the story beats. It's just got to be the story beats.
But then that's every movie. There's always like a
storytelling.
Second or third act, the end of second act, beginning of third act, just like low point where a character
catalyst, second act, third act.
We're like a character, they betray somebody or some revelation comes out and then they split off and then they come back together near the end.
Yeah, high point, super low point.
Yeah.
And the rallying point.
That's movie storytelling.
So when I heard that Coco was going to hit theaters, I had next door to know...
And he just doesn't explain it. He just simply states that it's the same thing. Not even... He doesn't say the same story, the same character, the same comedy beats, nothing. He just says it's the same thing over and over and over again. And he shows 3 things. One of them was 2D, so we can't even say that it's the animation style.
I had next door to no interest in seeing it.
And I had next door to 0 interest.
Gone are the days of inventive, creative, and interesting Disney films with compelling and well-defined characters at their heart. And in are the days...
Like what?
So, compelling and, did he say well-developed characters at heart?
Are the days of inventive, creative, and interesting Disney films.
Okay, so, creative and inventive Disney films. They're taking a concept like the Day of the Dead and expanding on it to the point where, hey, why do they just send out, leave their favorite things on their, what's the thing called?
Tombstone?
Not the tombstone, the big picture. I just watched
Abuela?
Oh,
no, that's the...
I was thinking Abuela. That's the mom. Ofrenda. Ofrenda. Why do they leave the Ofrenda on there? They're ghosts. They can't take it. But then you see them grabbing like ethereal things and then they got to go over their customs and declare, hey, my family gave me this. So you can see why. Hey, why did they leave out a piece of bread? It's a ghost. Oh, the ghost can take that piece of bread and make it ethereal. Got it. Hey, in ghosts coming in and you can't come in if the people forget you. How is this not inventive? They're taking this concept that is just like, this is just a surface level thing.
Celebration
of life and death and your family and all this stuff. And they're going, no, your family still exists over there and they're watching over you all the time and they appreciate your gifts and they don't want you to forget them.
And once they're forgotten, they're gone forever.
How is that not inventive and creative?
They got a whole separate world over there.
A whole world where they've got rules, they got customs, they've got lives that they live, jobs, all this stuff.
Contests.
We know that they don't have bathrooms. We know that they can eat. We know that they can get hurt, all this stuff. We know that they can attach things. There's a lot that we know about this world. How is this not inventive? And then if you say, go back to the Lion King. What's inventive about the Lion King? It's a lion society.
What's inventive about Mulan? Those are 2 of my favorite Disney movies of all time. Oh, cars talk and one of them wants to race. Okay.
Interesting Disney films with compelling and well-defined characters at their heart.
Well-defined. So do you think any character in Coco, main character, was ill-defined?
What character could it possibly be? Because the great-grandmother was just like, I hate this dude, but I actually love music, but he betrayed me, so I can't...
I hate music.
I hate music. She's got her own little thing going. She's got her reasons for not liking music and for shunning the whole family. And then the family has the reason for not liking music. And Miguel has the reason for liking music. And Hector, he's not even just like, I want what's owed to me, you piece of He's just like, I want to see my daughter.
One last time. Even if I don't get remembered, I want to see her before I'm gone.
And in are the days of flat, boring, repetitive movies that achieve nothing. Movies that usually feature two characters.
Okay. What were the separate... What were they? What were the separate things?
What were they?
What was the compelling one versus the not ones? Because you're just about to start talking about what the newer ones do.
Nothing. Movies that usually feature two characters that initially don't like each other, who have to go on some kind of elaborate journey, and in the end end up...
Hector and Miguel didn't not like each other?
Nope.
That's just false.
Correct.
I don't think Maui particularly disliked Moana. He was just like, hey, I just want your boat.
Yeah.
Zootopia, yeah, I guess. But conflict creates drama. We now have to see.
They never disliked each other, Joy and Sadness. They were just polar opposite types of characters.
Whoops.
Like, and the whole point of it is that joy isn't always a good emotion and sadness isn't always a bad emotion.
Oh, look at that.
That's not what happens in Inside Out.
Look at that.
Liking each other and finding out that they're a good together or a good team.
I never saw Up.
I have never seen Up either.
Okay. How is Up not creative and inventive? I don't know what he wants. I wish he would have showed older films.
Examples.
So isn't that Beauty and the Beast? Like, what are the older films that you're talking about?
They have creative concepts and not flat, boring characters.
And this is a very standard Disney formula. They use this type of formula in almost every single movie they make at this point. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. There's plenty of movies that follow a similar formula that...
Isn't that Toy Story?
That is most certainly Toy Story.
One of the most celebrated Disney films of all time.
Isn't that Beauty and the Beast?
Which I just named.
Oh,
you were not paying attention.
No, I wasn't. I thought you were talking about Beauty and the Beast in some other aspect.
No.
Yeah, but it's there. Tarzan,
Pocahontas.
This is insanity already.
Good, but here especially,
who and Frozen didn't like each other? Because that was one of the things they named.
Here especially, the movie never adds anything to this formula to actually make it interesting to watch. So
it never adds anything to the formula of two characters that don't like each other going on a journey and actually liking each other, except they never disliked each other. They just had a fight.
And also, if we do take what he said at face value and they never liked each other and nothing is added to anything, can you name any other one where there's the twist of they turn out to be family this whole time? And this dude was killed by this dude who you worshipped all this time?
let's just get into it, shall we? Right off the bat, I'm off-put by this movie. I hate how this movie opens. Now, why is that? Because of the narration. And I know that this sounds like a nitpick or a minor detail that doesn't really affect much, but to me, it screams lazy writing because this narration is the only time it's ever in the movie. It's not an actual plot point or...
Yes, it's the exact plot! It is the crux of the movie!
Yes, it is. It is
the
exactly...
The family hates musicians and music because that dude left and the biggest family was just like, no more of this music. So generations later, there's still no more of this music.
It's the plot point. They're introducing the main crux of the film.
And then on top of that, you learn later why he never returned, even though he wanted to.
It's the beginning of a movie narration. I don't see what the issue is.
Especially when it comes up constantly in the film.
You can do this, or you can have the clunky in Guardians 1 dialogue where Granny sits him down and just goes, look, your great-great-grandfather left when Coco was 2 years old and he never came back and this and this and this. No, we got what's going on the second that we walk into the movie. So now, instead of spending 2-3 minutes on somebody explaining that to somebody who already knows the story, Miguel is telling it to us. There's no issue with this.
Plot point or a way of telling the story is just a way for the first 5 minutes of this movie to spew exposition at you.
It's not 5 minutes, it's less than a minute.
I think it's a minute and a half, 2 minutes or so. Because you've got what just happened, and then you've got she decided to make shoes and all that extra stuff. Mm-hmm. So I think it's about a minute and a half, 2 minutes.
Oh, let's see.
Wow, you really...
With every beat of my proud corazon. Oh, get in there, right in my veins. So it starts at 1:10, and it ends at a hot 3 minutes. So a minute 50. And 50 seconds. That's somehow 5 minutes. And it tells us all about in De los Muertos, the Day of the Dead. It tells us about Coco being that little girl.
To spew exposition at you. There's nothing interesting about the way that it does this.
The knitted animation in the beginning, how is that not interesting instead of just steel frames or something?
Yes, it tells you that the family also hates music as well. It tells you why they hate music, what their lives are now that they make shoes like a horribly boring profession instead of being lively music people. It says so much in so little time.
Thing about the way that it does this. Sometimes narration can be a great asset to a movie. For example, The Wolf of Wall Street has narration.
Never saw that film.
I also never seen that movie.
Throughout the entire movie. And it adds a nice layer to the movie that wouldn't be there without it.
Oh. But isn't that the story of a dude? A real life dude? Mm-hmm. So
it's loosely based on it, I think.
So wouldn't you have to be like, all right, so, and then 2 years later, the stock market dipped, and then I went up here and over here. Instead of spending time with the movie, you can just do a narration like that. I don't, like I said, I've never personally seen that movie, but it's a big difference between what more narration could you have?
Okay, let's see what the narration is, since he did a clip.
It.
How's my favorite aunt, huh?
Welcome. Was the traffic terrible?
Oh, no, not at all. Thank God Aunt Emma didn't need too much convincing.
But here...
Convincing of what?
Okay,
why does she not need much convincing?
So this is, again, I've never seen the film. The only thing I could take away from that scene is he did that. He narrated that he needed to go do something, or the film said he needed to go do something with the aunt. He went in there. He said, luckily she didn't need much convincing, and then it went to the next scene. So you don't need the scene of him trying to convince her. It just goes to the next scene. Mm-hmm. Which could be seen as lazy.
Yes, it could.
Because you're not doing the scene. You're just, yada yada, she didn't need
convincing, so that's fine. So we don't need to... Like, where could you put that here in Coco? Oh, I went over to Frida and she taught me about this big papaya. Also, I absolutely love Frida. I forgot how much I loved her. I forgot she was in this movie. And then I showed up. I was just like, isn't there a character that's just like his weird in papaya lady? And I was like, oh, Frida! I love Frida. But yeah, if you were just like,
the milk is not milk.
It's my tears.
The narration's only in the first 5 minutes because the writers just had no idea how to get exposition out naturally throughout the rest of the movie. So
they tell you everything you need to know up front, so they don't need to tell you later on in the film. Cause what? I honestly just do not get this.
This is not a critique. This is not an issue.
You think the writers do not have the capabilities to tell you, hey, we've been making shoes for 40 years here.
just simply saying that.
But why don't we love music? Don't worry about it. And then it's told later on in the film.
There's no issue with this.
5 minutes with bad narration. It never comes back.
It wasn't even bad narration. It was a narration you didn't enjoy.
Yeah. And you didn't qualify why you thought it was bad. Was it bad acting? Was it badly delivered? Was it badly paced? What? Oh, it's just bad.
It never comes back. It doesn't affect anything. And everything that it tells you, you sort of learn anyway. So why do this?
Because it was a very easy and quick way to get all the information you needed out there immediately.
Yes.
So we don't have to go, why are they making shoes instead of the music? Why do they hate music? Blah, blah, blah. Even though we do learn these things, it's still just a way to tell you up front without a character going, we're a family that doesn't like music.
But through this bad exposition dump, we learn that
goodness.
Miguel is our main character, and his family hates music, and he wants to be a musician, obviously.
No music. No music.
And the reason they hate music is because his great-great-grandfather ditched his great-great-grandmother.
We wouldn't know that at this point.
We would just be hearing her shout out no music and chasing people away. Like, what the is going on? And have her storm in just like, because of Hector, I hate... No, not because of your great-great-grandfather, I hate music. And then she would have to poorly exposit what's going on.
Yeah, they couldn't even say the name of the character. They would just have to keep going, your great-great-grandfather.
Ran off to pursue a life of music, and...
If they did that, the movie wouldn't exist. Because they would remember the great-great-grandfather.
They absolutely would.
Because of this, they hate music, and they don't ever want anybody to play music or hear music. They don't want to hear music at any point in their life. So we see a picture of the great-great-grandfather and mother, great-great-grandmother, and the father's picture is torn. His face is torn out, which definitely won't come back later in the movie. Definitely not. Speaking of...
Set up and pay off in a film? In a moving picture? How could this be? So by the numbers.
A wife
so generic.
Being upset with her husband and never wanting to see him again, so she rips out a picture of him. Makes sense. Makes sense why she would do that. Makes sense that, what's the issue here?
That come back later. Remember when I was talking about the Disney formula just a minute ago? Well, here they use the same formula again, like they do in almost every movie, but here it feels so tired.
What formula? You said two characters that don't like each other going on an adventure where they learn that they actually work well together. What formula? Because that has not been happening yet.
Oh my goodness. This is very disingenuous.
Almost every movie, but here it feels so tired and so dated because every little aspect of this movie is amazingly predictable. Every aspect of this movie is paper thin and completely see-through.
Pause.
Because
every aspect. See, that's
like Dela Cruz, the turn of Dela Cruz. I was shocked.
I legit did not see that coming. Dela Cruz getting crushed by a bell while he's singing "Remember Me."
Until he was crushed by a bell.
And when Miguel grabs the the guitar, and then those people bust in and they go, hey, and he goes, I'm sorry, and they pass right through him. Is that predictable?
Miguel being a little thief. Just like, oh, wait for the fireworks. Black-ow.
Sorry about this. Oh my goodness.
I'm gonna be a musician. Just like you. Whoa, it's so good, dude.
That shot of the guitar and the little leaves folding up, that is such an amazing shot. I love that.
To add anything to this less than interesting formula.
Oh my!
Why do films need to add anything to the medium of film?
What did you want it to add?
Because I love Hereditary. I don't think it added anything to the medium of horror films or films in general. What needs to be added for it to be good?
This seems like a very lazy criticism of it's just baseline. It's
just another Disney
it's
film.
Just another. It's not credit. Cliche. It's cliche, and you don't have to say anything more than that. So you just keep repeating these same things and not expanding upon them.
Formula to make it at least mildly interesting, and when it does this, it makes every single twist become predictable.
Pause. So it doesn't do this thing, but when it does do this thing, it does it badly. It can't be both. Either it never does the thing, which is what you just said, or it does do the thing and it does it poorly, and I'm not going to explain how.
And cliche, because the formula calls for certain things to happen throughout the movie. And when they happen, you see them coming because it's the formula. And the movie doesn't add anything to this formula to make them not predictable.
Please Would you stop repeating yourself? It's predictable. We got it. My God, that was just a complete circle.
It's predictable because all the things that happen you expect to happen because it's the Disney formula. So you think they're going to happen. So it's predictable.
Man.
Keep that in mind as we go throughout the rest of the movie. I don't want to quite get into spoilery territory yet. So just keep that in the back of your mind.
If someone has never seen a film, why would they watch a large review of it?
A large review saying that it sucks. That it doesn't.
It should just be separated, spoiler free and spoilers.
If you're gonna do that, don't go. I'm gonna go beat by beat about this movie, but then I'm gonna get into spoilers later. So in case you get in halfway and you still want to watch the movie, you can.
As we go through this movie here.
Dante! No, Dante, stop!
Pause.
No.
Dumb dog that the grandmother said don't name dog because they're gonna follow you home. Follows him home, eats the treat, breaks the thing. That thing leads to him seeing that he has a guitar. The guitar is the same one that De La Cruz has. He thus believes that De La Cruz is his grandfather. Such a fine through line.
No.
So we see that the man in this photo has the same guitar as Miguel's hero does, Ernesto de la Cruz.
He starred in movies.
Pause. That mother in guitar has a gold tooth, and Hector has a gold tooth as well.
Of course.
De La Cruz couldn't even get a new guitar.
He couldn't even paint over the tooth.
He is scum.
He literally just took it off his soon-to-be corpse and just went, yes, this is the guitar.
Cool, this guitar. He could fly.
Which obviously means that Ernesto de la Cruz is Miguel's great-great-grandfather. And this is a big deal because De La Cruz is a celebrity. He's like the Frank Sinatra of Mexican culture. He's a big deal. So Miguel gets really excited and says, there's a musician in the family and he's the best ever and he's my great-great-grandfather. This is amazing. But like I was talking about with the formula, it's pretty convenient that the face is torn out of this photo.
It's not convenient. I don't want him in my photo.
He's a piece of crap. I am angry at him. I'm not going to have him up on the ofrenda. So do not remember this piece of crap that ran out on us and then died and never came back. Don't remember him.
You can say it's convenient, but it's also logical.
It's super logical.
It's not a plot convenience of just like, oh, the face got worn away from time. No, him rip.
And the daughter just goes, oh, that's still my dad, so I'm going to keep this stuff along with all of his letters, thus allowing the picture to come back together.
Just saying.
Pause. And again, what does this have to do with the Disney formula that he mentioned?
I don't know, because he only mentioned one formula, and it was two people that don't like each other going on a grand adventure and learning that they actually do work well together.
This is unbelievably bad faith.
Dude, what a great way to put it. This is a bad faith review.
It's definitely De La Cruz. Just trust me, it's definitely not.
Pause. So, we just saw De La Cruz get smashed by a bell. They go, in the beginning monologue, he left and never came back. This guy got the same white suit. He got the same guitar. He was a musician. What are we supposed to assume here? But this is his grandfather.
Even if you don't believe that that's his grandfather at some point in the film, which is very possible the second you learn that Hector knows how to play the guitar, you can go, okay, that's probably his grandfather. Or that might be his grandfather. You do not think of De La Cruz as a villain.
As a straight monster.
Somebody else. Even though the face is conveniently torn out of the frame.
It can be.
Don't know for sure that it's him. This won't come back later. Just take it for its word.
So no spoilers, but you're showing his grandfather. What the are you doing?
The movie, trust the movie. The movie won't ever try and twist.
Pause.
Have a twist.
So is a misdirection in a movie a bad thing? Is a little child putting pieces together and nobody in his family is talking about this man? Is it wrong for us to see what he is saying and come to the same conclusion that he is coming to?
No, I gotta be a critic and go, oh, what a plot convenience.
Oh, the face was ripped off.
It's not gonna be De La Cruz. Just get to it.
It's not like the dog ripped out the face or anything.
And swallowed it.
Twist at the end. No, definitely not. Anyway, our heroic main character breaks and enters into the celebrities.
Miguel is not heroic.
0%. He goes against his family's wishes daily.
Selfishly.
He understands that this is a family tradition and all this stuff to shine shoes, but he does not want to do that. Going against traditions, generations, what he believes to be his past deceased ancestors. Because he wants to. The guitar talent show thing, it wasn't even like, oh, $1 million grand prize.
It was just to play there.
It was just to play. He wants to do these things. And hey, he's good at it. It's a passion of his. He's self-taught and mad good at it.
Breaks and enters into this celebrity's tomb and steals his guitar. But it's his great-great-grandfather's, so it's fine. He can break the law if it's his great-great-grandfather's. Nobody will care.
Thanks.
They absolutely care, because they go, who's in there?
The people in the dead in the land of the dead don't care when he goes, I'm Ernesto's grandson. They don't care. The people care here. What is this argument?
And I think the guitar is left on the ground because he takes the ethereal version, technically. I can't remember quite if that happens. But either way, what the... No one's saying it's okay he did these things.
Nobody's going, oh, look at this little scamp. No, he even knows that it's a bad thing. He goes, I'm sorry, I'm your grandson, but I need this. Nobody's glorifying Miguel for stealing. He is a child.
Neither the film or audience members.
He's making a bad decision. We can allow people to make bad decisions. And guess what? He's punished for it. He could be dead because of his thieving actions.
And not listening to his family of just like, no more music.
No more music.
Go back
and then he immediately grabs the guitar. And he is again punished for it. And he is lambasted by his family going, you piece of you grabbed the guitar, didn't you?
You couldn't even wait 5 seconds. We're leaving the room and you're back.
Nobody is glorifying Miguel for this.
Thanks.
Do you mind?
Okay, so we're about 30 minutes into this movie. Miguel just entered the land of the dead, and I'm already pretty confident that the movie is trying to pull a fast one on me with the ripped photo, the reveal that...
They're not trying to pull a fast one on you. They're leaving breadcrumbs to find if you want to. Otherwise, just enjoy the film through Miguel's eyes.
If the things that if you want to see Hector as the grandfather, it is absolutely there. He never interacts with any of the family members until the moment that it's just like you're the great grandfather. He's a musician. He's dead. He died under a very weird circumstance.
Chorizo. Yo, go ahead, chorizo.
His father is a celebrity. His great-great-grandfather is a celebrity.
And this is coming out of the movie. You're going, I'm smarter and holier than thou.
I'm smarter than the movie. Than the kid's movie. That's his problem.
And watch the movie so you can say whatever you want now. You can be like, oh, of course I saw this coming. We don't know if you did or didn't.
So now I'm just looking for who the great-great-grandfather is actually going to be, which is the only...
So you, as a moviegoer, are not engaging with the movie. Instead, you'd rather try to outsmart the movie and I saw it coming. I saw it.
That's exactly what he's trying to do. He's not looking at the character interactions, thus making them bland and boring and everything. He's looking for them breadcrumbs.
He's looking for the grandfather and he's looking for the Disney formula. And everything else can sit and spin. What?
This is horrible.
What is he? What's his channel like? Rendan Lovell. Rendan Lovell. He's still just doing it.
Just
4K subscribers. He just gets off on saying things suck.
Oh, is he a reverse hype beast?
Wonder Woman 84 sucks. Here's why Bohemian Rhapsody sucks. Black Panther sucks. Justice League is a disaster. Big Mouth sucks. It Chapter 2 sucks. High Life is pretty disappointing.
Oh my goodness.
Why the Beach Bum is great. Okay. John Wick 3 sucks. How to Train Your Dragon 3 sucks. Deadpool 2 sucks. Halloween Kills is bad. Rise of Skywalker sucks. A Quiet Place sucks. Why the Greatest Showman is really bad. Unfriended 2 sucks. A Simple Favor. I love A Simple Favor, but it sucks, I guess. Quiet Place 2 isn't good. Doctor Sleep sucks. Doctor Sleep was very good. Ready Player One is a disaster. Quiet Place
2 was pretty good.
Dark Phoenix sucks, of course. The Happy Time Murder sucks. Okay. Alita Battle Angel sucks.
But if this is his level of criticism, why should we believe it?
Venom 2 is not good.
It was pretty good.
Detective Pikachu is hot garbage.
No comment. Never saw it.
It's basically just a bunch of sucks. Boy, this Coco one is way down there.
You care to hear the description?
Sure.
Disney Pixar has released a new thing! ! Everybody drop your drawers for Coco, the movie everyone pretends to like. Buckle in for Rendan to take this movie out back to teach it a lesson.
That's kind of creepy when the drop the drawers was right before.
Shut up.
And then taking it back to teach it a lesson.
89 up.
With my penis.
142 down.
Do we really want to look at the comments yet?
No.
Okay.
Thing that's interesting about this movie, the only thing that keeps me watching the movie, at least on a first watch, is trying to find out how the movie's going to pull a fast one on me.
So you have not established why you believe that this movie is bad outside of that. You haven't said anything about Miguel's character, the setting, the fact he's already dead. So he's just like, oh, the animation is bad. You're not saying anything of what's not grabbing you about this.
And the only thing that's holding my attention is figuring out who the grandfather is. Characters, the world, the visual, the music. No shit's given.
Nothing.
Who the grandfather? God, the music's so good.
The story here is amazingly boring, which means at this point, all that I care to see.
Boring is not a criticism on its own.
No.
You need to expand upon that. What about Miguel is boring? What about the story is boring? He tried to steal something, and now, based upon where we stopped, which is where Miguel is bumping into skeletons, we don't know why he's now in the land of the dead. So, you're not trying to figure that out. You don't care about why he is now in an ethereal plane. You're just going, who's the grandfather? That's a story thing of just like, what the f is going on? Is in De La Cruz magic?
At this point, all that I care to see is the animation and the characters of this movie.
What? Okay, wait, he said, okay, so there's several things that he said. He said the only thing that he's looking for right now is the
only thing that's keeping his attention.
But now he's saying animation and character? And then in the beginning, he said gone are the days of the good characters, the compelling characters, and they're replaced with flat, boring characters. But now you're going, the characters are hooking you.
He didn't say the characters are hooking him. He said the only thing he's paying attention to, something like that. What did he say?
All that I care to see is the animation and the characters of...
Okay, all he cares to see. He's not saying they're good. He's just trying to see what they are, because the plot's already lost them. It's already Disney stuff. It's already by the numbers, generic, repetitive
30
plots.
minutes in.
Yeah, we're already done with the plot.
There is no two characters that don't like each other, but the plot's already gone, and the Disney formula is already established.
Yep, the plot's done. So the only thing I can grasp onto now is animation and characters. Please don't disappoint. Oh no, the animation. Oh no, the characters.
This movie. Now that I'm confident I know the story and how boring it's going to be.
You're 30 minutes in and going, I know this story is going to be boring.
Confident.
Where's the characters and the animation? Because everything else, I know the story's going to be boring.
Even though he's looking for the breadcrumbs of the reveal of who the grandfather
That's
is.
Holding his interest.
This is horrible.
This is horrible, dude. I can't believe how bad this is.
I can't believe it.
Because with Bricky, at least, Bricky is just a dumb dude.
He's just a dumb dude who cannot string two words together in order to formulate a thought about what he thought about this thing. So he just goes, it's boring, gets cliche, don't like this thing.
This man is just contradictory and straight lying on the movie.
Legit. And doing so in such bad faith that he walks into the movie going, oh, it's Disney, number one. And then he goes, where's the Disney formula?
Very rigid, stupid formula. That's all I'm looking for. And only one of these two things is good. So I'll let you guess which one of these two things is actually going to be good about this movie. The animation or the characters? I'll get
your character's text went away for a second.
Irrelevant.
Give you a second.
Nitpicking.
I guess I am just nitpicking. I guess that's just the YouTuber formula, and you're hey, you're just doing what YouTubers do. Why would people come to you if you're just doing the same formula of other YouTubers?
You're doing a YouTuber formula. Huh.
So I guess you're just boring and uninteresting out the gate.
And the only thing that's keeping me here outside of Revisit is that pretty fly couch.
the characters. I'll give you a second to guess it.
Your animation went away from. Oh my god! I see what happened there.
He
could not.
Yeah. No, that's just like what happened with my Usopp in a Skypiea thing where I had to have him a freeze frame, and it just sort of I took a picture and then it turned into the picture for a second and then back to the video. No, we saw what happened. He's not a particularly good editor. This was an earlier video of his. Not everybody's
3 years ago.
You know.
When did he start?
Yeah, I was about to say, how long has he been doing this up until that moment?
Why do we always do this?
We have to. 5 years.
So he had 2 years under his belt.
2 years is enough. If not 2 years is enough, you should have seen that during the editing review watchback process and go, that didn't work. How can I make this work actually? To just not make it look choppy.
Okay, time's up. And of course, if you get...
Why is the music still going in?
Editing is hard.
It's really not. It's tedious.
It's hard. It's really hard.
It's hard when you're doing a lot of it for a little bit of time. If you've got to do an hour and a half for 12 seconds, yes, editing is hard.
But this just two things on the screen with two words, and every now and again you put in some clips from the movie. It's nothing. Some music as well. This video, this 28-minute video, could be bust out in an hour and a half, easy. This is nothing.
A couple jump cuts.
Yeah. Editing is hard though. It's very hard.
I mean, if you want to stretch it, stretch it. 3 hours. 3 hours to bang this out.
Okay, time's up. And of course, if you guessed the voice acting, you'd be right. Voice acting is the best part of this movie.
Pause.
Now,
so not the characters nor the animation.
That was
the breadcrumbs.
Yeah, he was setting us up.
Misdirection.
Yeah, we didn't see this ripped photo and think.
Didn't he say the narration was bad though?
I think the expository nature of it is bad.
I don't think
the fact that narration was there and doesn't come back was what was bad. Because it was fine in Wolf of Wall Street because it was throughout the film.
I'm pretty sure he said something about the performance. We'll never know.
No, just kidding. The animation is obviously the best part of this movie, and the animation here is spectacular. There's nothing that I can say about this movie to make it look bad. The animation is absolutely spectacular.
You just said spectacular. You just
English is hard.
It's really not. This is why some people should not be allowed to go off talking points.
Yeah.
They're not able to articulate their points in just a stream of consciousness talking way. They need a script.
But if they do, have another person there, because I don't think I could do it either. But with you sitting here, I can be like, hey, whatever you're saying, I can think of whatever I'm gonna say next, or bounce off of whatever you're gonna say next.
I submit that you could, because a lot of the Demon Slayer retrospective was you going on a talking point and then talking about 2 minutes about it. Why wouldn't you do this? Why this is why this was bad. You can explain why something is bad or good. This guy is saying spectacular twice in a sentence.
Adjectives are difficult.
They're not.
Frame of this movie is beautifully animated, and it's clear that the animators here put in hundreds, thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of hours into animating this movie, and it shows. The movie looks excellent. Every single shot in this movie is just beautiful. It's dripping with...
That's the second time he said beautiful in this segment. He's gotten too spectacular, too beautiful. Get a script!
It must be really spectacular and beautiful then. That's the only thing that I can glean for that.
Is just beautiful. It's dripping with vibrant colors and wonderful textured environments and really nice details.
That's not animation! That's art direction!
That's design.
That's design!
So the animation is great. There's nothing that I'll say bad about that, because I just can't. By stealing this celebrity's guitar, he is magically cursed and stuck in the land of the dead.
Well, you're cursed.
Why did you say it like that?
What? You're cursed!
Sorry. I'm allergic to dogs, but he doesn't have fur, and I don't have a nose, and yet here we are.
Well, you're cursed.
What?
He runs into his family members, who the movie constantly reminds us is his family members, with these obnoxious cutaways.
Pause. No, they did that exactly one time.
Right here.
Right here. As he's remembering this stuff. Up until this point, he's just like, he hasn't really shown any interest in his family. But to recognize them, not only as they're sitting here as skeletons, but remembering their names and all this stuff, that shows that he actually does care about his family quite a lot to recognize them in death.
Couldn't figure that out on our own. Thanks for constantly
No
reminding
pause,
us.
and that also shows us like their facial structures and how it looks in death and in life, and it's a good like a whole lot of skeletons have different facial structures and stuff like that. What's the problem here? They do it one time, and I'm just like, oh, look at the big cheeks and the twins.
That's who they are. Movie. We see this bum try to get across the Flower Bridge into the land of the living. He gets apprehended, and then we learn that to break the curse on our main character, he has to receive a blessing from his family.
Oh, we send them back. Well, since it's a
demon
family
box.
matter, the way to undo a family curse is to get your family's blessing.
That's it?
The family doesn't want him to play music, so they say that we'll let you go if you promise not to play music.
Pause. Not the family, just her. The other ones are very... They kowtow to her because she's the elder statesman of the family.
Yes.
So when Miguel's just like, give me your blessings, they're like, no. They're not like, no family. They're just like, nah, I don't want to get involved with that bit.
Because once you go, I got to deal with that.
Yeah.
And of course he gets pissed and runs to find his father, the celebrity De La Cruz man. And accompanying him on this not-so-perilous journey is this bum from earlier. They make a little deal where Miguel will put up his picture on his ofrenda if he can help him get to De La Cruz. So they make a little deal, and
Is it a deal with malicious intent? Are they angry at each other? Do they not like each other? Disney formula, what? The formula that you established in the beginning, and we're 40 minutes into the movie, and that formula has not come to pass?
make my prediction of who the real great-great-grandfather will be. And it's this bum. This bum who is conveniently at the same place at the same time as our main character, who conveniently can't...
This is gonna be his last time because he's gonna get forgotten. He said, I can feel it. Coco is slipping. And because of that, there will be nobody left to remember me.
So he's doing everything that he can, dressing up as Frida, the good best character in the movie, Frida, running across, trying to make a deal with a policeman. He's doing everything that he can, and then this kid comes up, this alive kid. That's his chance to get in there.
Because you know what happens? By the time day breaks, he's almost gone. He had a night left.
And we don't know if this is his first attempt of the night, the second attempt, third attempt, fourth attempt, nothing. We don't know that.
Get across the flower bridge to the land of the living
and
because
pause.
He doesn't have his picture.
Oh, you're talking about it's convenient that it just happens to be at the same time. That's everything.
I was about to say, are conveniences in and of themselves a bad thing?
This dude is a bum.
It's amazing.
Cross the flower bridge to the land of the living because he doesn't have his picture up somewhere, and who conveniently also has a disdain for this kid's father or great-great-grandfather.
Pause.
He doesn't
have
a
a disdain. He says right in this scene, he's just like, I taught him everything that I know. That dude's a bum. Whatever. Here's looking at the there is no disdain until the moment of just like, mother, you killed me? He was face to face with Ernesto, and he was like, Hector, we had a deal.
No manches. You played with Ernesto de la Cruz, the greatest musician of all time?
You're funny. Greatest eyebrows of all time, maybe, but his music? Not so much.
You don't know what you're...
He's making fun of him like an old friend. There is no malicious intent there. You are making a story to complain about it.
Talking about?
It's this guy. This guy's going to be his real great-great-grandfather. It's obvious. He even talks about how he was a singer and a guitar player. I mean, come on.
Pause. We slowly learn that he's a singer and guitar player. When the dude fades away, it's just like, play me a song. I don't do that no more.
You know I don't play anymore.
And then, hey, guess what the focus of that scene was? It was the person disappearing because they're forgotten.
There is a great shot where they're leaving and there's the liquor glass out of focus, and Miguel looks back to it and it switches focus to the glass as they leave. It's so
There's
good.
a lot of dumb goods like that in the movie, because when he just goes, I wish I could have gone back to her, my Coco. The focus shifts from Hector over to Miguel, so Hector gets a little blurrier and Miguel gets clearer, and he's just like, what the did you say? Like, yeah, Coco, my granddaughter, my daughter, whatever, doesn't really matter.
Can't get much more obvious than this. You didn't even try, Disney.
Pause. What did you do to put those pieces together outside of him being a musician?
Before he picked up that guitar, when did you think it was the bum?
When?
Or was it after he picked up the guitar?
And couldn't there not be two musicians in this world?
Didn't even try to hide this twist.
They absolutely did.
Because every second he's walking forward, it's just like, you're my grandson, that's cool, I can't believe it. And then even during that time, Miguel's like, was it hard to leave your family? And he was like, yes, it was. But when he's about to give him the blessing, it does not light up.
Glow. It don't glow.
Like at all.
Pause. What could they do to make it more secretive while also making it clear in rewatches and making it clear for kids that this is the grandfather? What is the story that you want?
And did they try? Did they care to try? Was that what they were trying to accomplish, and that they were hiding that Hector might be his grandfather?
Because legit, just outside of the music, and he just going, I need to get back. He doesn't really explain why he needs to get back. Slowly, it's just like her and my daughter, but he's just like, I need to get back. And we don't know exactly why he needs to get back. So it could just be his own little adventure. And Maui was not related to Moana. They were just two people.
Man, you want to answer that? Did Disney try? I mean, it's less than 40 minutes in. The movie's almost 2 hours long, and I already know exactly where it's going.
Yeah, okay. Hector might be his grandfather. Okay, what happens after that?
What happened?
What happens after the reveal?
How did he die? Where does Ernesto fit into any of this? Why does the family hate music? How did he die?
So, the only way that this movie can win me over now is by having some kind of interesting developments. And the interesting developments, I guessed, in 30 minutes. So, what do people like about this movie?
The journey? You're so focused on the destination of who's the actual grandfather that you're completely ignoring every step of the way. You're looking at the giant building at the end and going, is that really our destination? Or is it the house like 2 miles before it without going, hey, look, this is a golden brick road. Isn't that interesting? That house, though.
They're told if you go to this building, you will get $100. But paved all the way down the roads is just $1,000 bills. But he just got his head in the clouds, just like destination. Not even looking at the ground. Not
roads?
Even looking at.
How cliche.
At this point, I don't care about the story at all. I'm pretty sure I know where it's going. I'm pretty sure.
Okay, you know where the story is going. Do you not know where the story is going in 80% of the media you consume?
Unbelievable.
Cliches are cliche because they happen a lot. That doesn't necessarily make them bad. It's just something that happens that is seen in a lot of media. So who cares if you know where it's going?
Enjoy it. Can you not enjoy any movie on a second rewatch because you know where it's going? Man.
Or did Sixth Sense get better because you know where it's going so you can see all those breadcrumbs?
No, I saw it on the first watch. Did M. Night even try?
I know where it's going. I'm pretty sure that it has nothing to offer. So
I'm pretty sure it has nothing to offer. Dude, you're checked out.
He's mentally checked out.
Leave the theater. What are you still doing here? If you're like, I'm pretty sure this has nothing to offer me, dude,
go get your refund.
You go. You're 40 minutes in. Get the out of here. This is, oh man.
Right now, all I want to see is good characters. And in the first little bit of this movie, they're really stupid and childish and flat and boring, and none of them have any...
Stupid and childish. Aren't those descriptors? How are they flat?
Flat, boring. Childishness can lead to recklessness, which leads to not being boring because it pushes the plot forward, like with what happened with Miguel.
Discernible character traits about them. They all act very childishly towards each other, and Miguel acts that way back to them.
I give you my blessing to go home.
How is this childish?
To put my photo back on the ofrenda, and to never play music again.
What? She can't do that.
Well, technically, she can add any condition she wants.
Fine.
Then you hand the pedal to Miguel.
Look how smug she is!
Yes. And hey, she has a reason for this. She wants to stamp this music stuff out because, hey, if Miguel loves music, one day maybe he'll leave his family. What is childish about that?
The characters are so flat in this movie.
Dude. Flat, boring, childish. Stupid. It's the same. No explanation whatsoever.
How did these people consume media before they got into their realm of being a YouTube reviewer? Because this is just what YouTube reviewers do. It's stupid, it's cliche, it's boring, blah, blah, blah. That's the negatives. Oh, it's spectacular, it's amazing, it's fantastic, it's beautiful. That's the positives. Before
Throw
that,
in some jokes every now and again.
Before that time, and then synopsis for 80% of it. Before that time, how did they evaluate media? before they learned the YouTube formula of how to evaluate media.
Before they learned the nostalgia critic and all the people that splintered off from him and were inspired by him
and James Rolfe with the like angry stuff, like
Spoonie and all them people. What was media criticism before that? Because just saying everyone is boring and flat and everything. When we see Hector in mourning over a friend of his and wondering if that's gonna happen to him before the night's end. We see all of Miguel's family caring about him and wanting to get him back desperately. We see this stuff. We see
character growth with the grandfather, the great grandfather, great mother, with Hector, and them actually do love each other still, and realizing that it's just like, and that's for Hector taking away the love of my life. I'm the love of your life. I don't know. I'm still mad at you.
And we see Miguel just pig-headed, bull-headed, put your head down and get there. And he even says just like, why do you want in Ernesto's blessing? He's like, I want to earn this. I want a musician's blessing. Flat, boring, childish.
That's so sweet and so stupid.
They don't really learn or grow at all.
Pause. So
they learned what happened to Hector, which in turn lets them reignite their love of music, and those two that were separated through Dela Cruz grow to know that they do love each other.
They grow together and
then at the end, the family accepts music.
There's quite a lot of growth. And then in Hector, he just goes, you're gonna go back without music. He goes, all right, family comes first. He was accepting those conditions near the end. He grew.
And the family goes, we're sending you back no conditions. And Miguel's like, no, we need to get that picture for you, Hector. Nah, I'm already gone. Go back home, kid.
No growth. Nobody goes through any growth or development or change or anything. They're all just childish and flat and boring and stupid, all of them. What stupid actions did the family take?
And you know what? The issue with the family not listening to music is they wouldn't hear Remember Me, so Coco wouldn't hear Remember Me.
So she wouldn't remember it and go, hey, who's singing that? Oh, who is that? That's not the dude that made the song.
That's not my thing, Dad.
It makes a lot of sense. They go that this is Ernesto's most biggest song, but this is a no music family. It gets stomped out as people are singing near the road. They run out with a shoe and just kick them. And they're not taking Granny Coco into the town. She's a little old lady. And if they do, they're stomping out music before it starts. Because it was like a good 4, 5, 6 lines before she started Remember Me. So even then, if they start singing the first couple chorus of it, doesn't really matter anything.
Oh, at all. They just are that way for the whole movie.
Pause. So the family still at the end of the movie hates music. They're still mad at Hector. Nobody grows. Nobody learns that, oh, this is what happened. This is the reason why I could not come back. I wanted to come back, but I died because this bastard poisoned me and stole my guitar and all my songs and everything. Oh, that's what happened? You didn't just leave and get drunk and die somewhere in a gutter? We forgive you. Music is fine. Hey, guess what? I hate music. No, but I actually love music, but I can't express it because it reminds me of that bum that left me and ruined my life. Left me with a kid. All of these things happen. Nothing happened. Nobody grows. Nothing.
But the grandfather is Hector, so the movie's already spoiled 30 minutes in. It's ruined. There's nothing left.
This is unbelievable.
We say that every time we get these types of people. You know what? And it's going to remain because I cannot believe these types of people can have any level of popularity.
Yes.
Any level.
No, it's confirmation bias again. It's just
Is
people
it though? Because it's got less likes than dislikes. It was like 81 to like 164.
Preemptive comments. I love your commentary and agree with most of what you said. My husband kept shouting, yes, exactly. So I think he agrees as well. There is no replies to that and no explanation of that.
Wonderful.
So that's what it is.
Those types of people.
Yes.
Just a husband pumping his fist going, yeah, exactly.
One sentence. This review is too true. No reasons why it's too true. Thank you. I always felt this movie was overrated. Zootopia is so much better than this movie.
He slacked off Zootopia!
I have tried to like this movie and watch it on 6 separate occasions, and on each occasion, I ended up hating it. No explanation about why he was right or why you hate the movie or anything. This is what it is. This is what it always is.
I don't think I've ever watched a movie 6 times.
Trying to get through a movie 6 times.
Just going, hey, maybe this time I won't hate it.
What's your record for Fairy Tale?
The first few episodes. It took me 3 times to get through it. 3. And every time I was quitting a little later, and then eventually I was like, yeah, I did it. And then
aren't you glad you got through it though?
No.
Not even for
Oedipus alone isn't worth me going through that pain.
There was some good stuff in Fairy Tale.
Yes, there's good stuff in everything.
Yep.
There's good in a sandwich. The bread, oh my god, that bread's delicious. It's still...
It's boring. But now that...
Oh, no, it's boring. Sorry, we're back here. We never left.
We never left.
Hector and Miguel are going off on their journey together. The movie completely devolves into random, loosely connected scenes that don't feel important at all. The whole movie...
Like what?
Like what? Okay, so you said that Hector and Miguel are going off. So they're going off. What do they immediately do? They go to the talent contest. Why? Because if you do, you get to meet, you get to go and perform at Ernesto de la Cruz. That makes sense. Hey, I'm going over to Frida. Frida has an inn. This is where de la Cruz is supposed to be practicing. Oh, he's not here. He's over there. So now we have to go over there. How is this loosely connected?
Hey, when the family came to the talent contest, so they had to run away. And then he's like, you could just go back with your family
over there. Like, and he goes, it's not about me just leaving. It's about me earning acceptance for who I am.
No, that was before the end. After that, it was just like, you don't care. You just want your picture on my ofrenda. You.
I'm just wondering, when did we sit down and go watch them go to a hot dog stand or something? What was loosely connected? Because then he immediately goes to the party, and then Hector sneaks in as well, and then they have their big 3-way showdown. What is not important here? What could be cut? What could be rearranged?
Because you know about Frida now, so you know where he got the costume, and you know how he died. That scene, that was the importance of that scene.
Plus, when we have to go to the big sunrise celebration, we got an in on how to get there because Hector knows Frida.
And if they didn't play at the talent contest, he wouldn't have got in with the band. So
he got into the party. Dude! And of course he can't explain it. Because he just rattling off bullshit because he wasn't paying attention. Because he's looking for breadcrumbs and formulas.
2 guys walking between set pieces until it ends.
Wow. 2 guys. So, you honestly think they just walked into the talent competition and went, wow, that was cool. And then just walk to the next set piece. Nothing informs the next thing.
Nothing. Nope.
Nothing matters to the next thing or the thing before.
Nobody knows anything. Hey, I forgot about the scene where dude dies. He goes, I need a guitar. Oh, I know where I can find a guitar. This dude. And then they get
Where's my femur, Hector?
Where's my femur? And then we also learn about what happens if you die in this world and if you're forgotten. What is unimportant here? Under the bridge, hey, we're painting your face so you're not recognized. And then they come up with the big tiger leopard thing and they sniff the paint thing and it's got Hector's scent on it. And now they're on Hector's trail. Miguel, sorry.
Rest of the movie, this scene right here pretty much defines the rest of the movie. We see them going into this impoverished town
where people are forgotten. They're waiting there to die. They
got
don't
no
have
family,
so they call each other their family. This is a sad existence.
A sad existence, slowly waiting to die.
Slowly waiting to die. Here, you got nobody, so you share what you got with these people who also don't have nothing. It's such a horrific scene, and he's just laughing and joking, and everybody is as they slowly wait to die with this big purple city where everybody's having fun. Remember, this is the night of the Day of the Dead. Everybody's going back and forth between the land of the living, and they're sitting there. This is such a good scene because it shows so much with so little. Hey, we family. We don't need that family. We each other's family.
Yeah, but where's the bread?
Unbelievable.
What's the point of the scene?
Oh, where's the breadcrumbs? This is when we first are introduced with the fact that he's into music and he can sing and play the guitar.
They need to find a guitar, and this old guy has one. And then stupid stuff happens that you don't care about to a character that you met for 1 second.
Forms what happens later. And I did care about that character because they made me in this moment.
He had a good jokes.
Those aren't the words. There are children here.
You can see that you can infer based upon what he's surrounded by. Either that's a bunch of junk to make himself comfortable, or that's the stuff that he cares about and he knows he's about to die and he wants to be surrounded by the stuff he cares about. There's a lot here. If not for Hector walking in a moment before, he would have died alone. But he didn't.
He would have died alone and Hector would have just got the guitar.
Yes. His friend was with him for his last moments. And up until this moment, we've seen Hector being a jokey ha-ha guy. But he just slowly raises a glass and drinks it and sits it down. No jokes, no whatever. And then guess what? Miguel is just like, no, I'll remember him. I'll go back and put it.
That's not how it works.
That's not how it works. But hey, it happens to all of us. Let's go. He's putting on a front. There's so much. Oh my goodness.
It's almost like this is a really good movie.
Then he's just like, I don't care. You don't care about this dude. Why don't you care about this dude? You don't care about this dude just going, look, I ain't got no kind of time left. All I want is one more song. Hector goes, no. And he goes, do it. And Hector goes, aight. Instantly.
You got to earn it. You want it. You got to earn it. And Hector could have just waited. Or he could have just left.
Or he could have just been like, no. Or he could have just taken it. Because he can't get up and move around. He was just like, he was up and up. And then he got glowing. Just like, I'm going. It says a lot about the dude. Says a lot about what happens when you die. Shows off Hector's musical talent.
Shows off their area with the family. Everybody forgotten. And a little bit of explanation of what's going on there.
Shows off Miguel's just childish mindedness of just like, no, I can do it. I'm here. And Hector's realistic approach of just like, it happens to everybody. That's not how it works. Where is he? Where did he go? Who knows? But it happens to all of us. Hey, let's go. Guitar.
We got one. Let's go play.
Unbelievable.
And then they just immediately move to the next scene. And this is...
No! They slowly talk about it, and there's a long shot of the glass, and it's so sad! As actors just like, let's go! And Miguel's looking back like, my God, what the...
And then he's thinking about, holy... family is important. This is what happened when people are forgotten.
And what happens if we don't have this scene? When it starts to happen to Hector, they just gotta explain everything
right then and there.
It's the final death. What happens when that happens? They're just gone forever. We don't know. Would that have been better for you?
This scene accomplishes so
and they just
much.
Find the guitar in a trash can. Would this have been acceptable to you?
Unbelievable. I'm shook to my core about this dude caring so little. Like you said with the because reason stuff, I put so much thought into, hey, this is why it doesn't work.
So much thought in the stream of consciousness.
Yes. And here's how it could work. But here's all the reasons why it doesn't work, even though it informs future stuff. He just goes, this dude that we don't care about and nothing. I am flabbergasted with this. This is unbelievable.
How the movie is for 2 hours. It's just scene after scene after scene.
Isn't that a movie? Where it's just one scene and then the next scene? Like your precious Wolf of Wall Street? Was it just not a dude in a scene and then a dude in another scene?
His next sentence is going to be something like it that don't lead to each other and it doesn't matter or something.
After scene of loosely connected bits that are mostly unimportant, stupid, and contrived.
Loosely connected. That scene that you show that youth and hate gives them the guitar, lets Miguel know what happens when a person dies, and we get a little bit of character stuff for Hector as we move forward. And we learn about Hector being able to play guitars, which informs later stuff and breadcrumbs and you figuring out he's the great-grandfather.
And then that immediately leads to the talent show where Miguel, the first time that he performs, he's very shy and nervous, but he remembers something that Hector said of just like yell it out and get all this stuff out. He does a great performance,
which in turn lets him do that when he meets Dela Cruz and gets his attention through that.
It also leads to him seeing the people and the people recognizing his talent and getting him into it. We've seen that Hector has a pretty good Frida outfit, so that gets him into the party as well. The party leads to the revelation. The revelation leads to them two being alone. Them two being alone leads to the revelation.
And when Miguel leaves Hector, Miguel's running away, and he slips past his great grandmother. And he goes, you guys don't care about my happiness. You only care about your stupid music thing. We're supposed to be about family. And he starts to leave. But you wouldn't understand. He starts to leave. And she starts to sing and go, I love music. Which in turn informs us that she can sing. Which is what happens when they get to the De La Cruz Plaza thing.
What could be taken out?
Not sure you could inform the things that happen in one scene in a different scene, but to say that it's loosely connected and means nothing in the overall thing and it's stupid and contrived is a lie!
It is an absolute lie from somebody who does not care about this movie.
The longer this movie goes on, the more I feel like this script was slapped together in a night. The story is so simplistic and doesn't offer any interesting or surprising developments, or
De La Cruz being a legit murderer that stole his best friend's music.
And he's also so uncreative that he took his poisoning plot and put it into a movie with the same dialogue. And he's hero because he realizes, oh, poison. Dela Cruz sucks.
And then he just go, well, I'm just gonna murder this kid who I still believe to be my great grandson.
You understand the man's reputation is mad important, right? And Miguel's like, yeah, absolutely, just hand me that blessing.
Everyone knows that Ernesto de la Cruz is the good guy.
And that look on his face is just like, guards, crushes the leaf. Miguel will be staying with us a little bit longer.
You know what it's like to seize your moments. It's so... And oh my god, the transition with Hector when he turns around and then it's in the past with De La Cruz. It's so good.
Dude, get in there.
Complicated or interesting characters.
You just said...
It's just two guys that wander around this land of the dead, which also feels very creatively limited. And let me explain. The land of the dead, the first thing you start to see the details. And the details cripple this world. Again, the first look at it is very magical and awe-inspiring, but then there's security on the flower bridge. Even though you could just run across.
You can't!
He tried!
He literally tried! The security is there to make sure that people remember you and thus you can travel over there. You can't unless you're allowed and you're remembered. And the other way going back, I don't know what the contraband situation is, but they asked, do you have anything to declare? And they said, yo, stuff from my family. It's a system. This is world building. We know why they're doing these things outside of what you have to declare coming back in.
If you have your picture up, and if you don't, then you fall through, or you kind of fall through. So why have security in there the first place? Nobody can get across anyway, so what's the point of that?
We don't know what happened there. We don't know if it X'd him so he couldn't get across, or if it's just a magical bridge where he... Because why would Miguel be allowed across? It's not some type of remembrance thing for his curse. We don't know what happened there.
And then, because when the great-great-grandmother was just like, I got my picture up there, I know I do, and they know, and they saw Big X, we don't, so we don't know exactly if it's the computer or if it's just the pedals.
And there's like celebrities and people in poverty and like houses and pools and stuff. It just feels like reality. Except with skeletons.
Pause! These people are, for all intents and purposes, alive!
They're regular people just in a different world.
Why would they not have things that they had when they were alive? Why would they not still enjoy swimming? Or the riches, or the comfort of luxury? What's the issue with that?
Or parties.
What do you want? In bone polishing shop?
I guess he just wanted it to be different from our world. In some way, shape, or form. Like their houses are like... I don't know. Some type of metropolitan thing. I don't know.
Maybe he'll say what.
There's nothing creative or inventive or original or new about the Land of the Dead.
What was new about
Ratatouille
and Toy Story?
Toys are alive.
It's the regular world.
Or invent.
I don't know what that
creative.
was.
Zootopia?
No, the second one with the just big.
Oh yeah, I'm trying to see what was creative about Zootopia.
Once she goes into the city, there's various sections of the city that are just like, this is the code place. This is the place like
You mean like our world?
Yeah, but I also remember there was stuff that's like It was something with a giraffe that was very good. It was like a long necked thing that you can, a bridge or something that you can go by. I don't remember exactly what it was, but I remember that there were accommodations for separate animals.
Okay.
But that's a necessity.
You mean like handicap places?
That's a necessity of.
There's accessibility things for different creatures.
Yes, that's what it was.
That's our world. Like, I don't...
Hey, shut up.
What is inventive about a giant... Oh, I think that's WALL-E.
Is it WALL-E? It looks like... It might be WALL-E. I remember it took place in a junkyard.
A big old junk place. I've never seen WALL-E, so I can't really...
I've also never seen WALL-E.
Or original?
Original.
A rat in a restaurant.
Who controls a dude's hands by pulling his hair.
Or new?
New toys being alive.
Child's Play came out before this.
About the land of the dead. There's nothing interesting here.
What was interesting about Toy Story's world?
What
was interesting about Ratatouille's world?
In Toy Story, they talk about the rules and how you can't be seen by a human. Who makes the rules? What rules are there? They broke the rules later when they showed themselves to Sid. Are there repercussions? What constitutes a toy? When does something gain sentience? How does it gain sentience? Are these things fine because it's new? Or original, or inventive, or creative, or whatever piss you were spewing.
And it's very strange to watch as these two characters walk around the real world, except there's skeletons there. I mean, come on. The movie literally could not think of anything.
Can you think of anything? Can you give an example of what could have been different?
Yes.
Please think of something. Please, in your next few sentences, explain what they could have done.
What they could have done that is just like, oh yeah, that's good. Oh, they got like a coffin taxi.
Creative to put in this world. There's bodyguards, there's celebrities, there's weird like mansions with parties and stuff. Like, it's just the real world.
Pause. What about the spirit animals?
Whoops.
They explain those. They explain their purposes. They explain that they have different abilities, and even though they look mundane.
But people are dead. It's so uncreative, and it feels like this is the way that the movie has to structure itself to put artificial barriers.
Okay. You did not explain what they could have done that could have creatively shaped the world.
There was nothing there.
You had so much time to think of stuff before you did this review. Because you knew you were coming to do this review.
Mm-hmm. You had to be sitting there just going, this is just the real world. Why couldn't they have insert thing here? Or are you so uncreative that you could not do that thing? And if you're so uncreative, who are you to talk about people being uncreative?
In front of our main character so that the movie doesn't end in 20 minutes. Because if these artificial barriers like security guards or the bodyguards of celebrities or...
Pause. So De La Cruz is a famous person in real life. The people who are dead must have heard about him. So apparently you can die in this world, so you must have bodyguards to protect yourself. You don't want Ernesto De La Cruz, who is a celebrity, to be mobbed day in and day out. So people must be allowed in and out. If you're going to get rid of the celebrities, you can't get rid of the celebrities because these are people with memories and past lives. So if you walk down the street when you're dead and see a dead Michael Jackson, you're supposed to be like, that's dead Michael Jackson.
It's on top of that, there doesn't seem to be a heaven or hell because De La Cruz is a confirmed murderer. Still celebrated, still beloved. I think you're a celebrity in terms of how you're remembered in the real world. That's why Frida is still a celebrity. But when Miguel dies, if he doesn't do anything like artistically groundbreaking or world renowned, I don't think he's going to be a celebrity on the other side just because he was some indie pop darling that 1,000 people knew about.
There might be some people that come up to him, but he's not going to be on the De La Cruz or the Frida level. Look how scuffed his shoes are. That's a nice little detail.
Like house parties that were hard to get into didn't exist in this world, the movie would be...
It's De La Cruz's. And even once he gets in, you know what? He's basically going...
It shouldn't be parties and normal human stuff. I don't know what he wants. Why can't they have parties? What's the issue with that outside of humans have parties and these are just skeletons? Can they not enjoy themselves?
Enjoy yourself.
World, the movie would be over in 15 minutes.
Hey, if they could have flew in Lord of the Rings, which one of them does, the movie would have been over in 15 minutes.
If Pumbaa and Timon had convinced Simba to go back, the movie would have been over.
You could point to anything and go, these are artificial barriers where the movie would have been over.
But this isn't an artificial barrier.
It's only an artificial barrier because he doesn't like it. He doesn't like that there's an exclusive party. An exclusive once-a-year party. He doesn't like that. So, it's just clearly a barrier to get to De La Cruz, the most celebrated musician in the world.
On one of the biggest Mexican holidays. Not like it's just a random day.
I would just say, give me a blessing, and they would say, okay.
No! His family doesn't like music! They don't want him to play it! If he was there for stealing something that somebody else loved from the family, and it's just like, I stole this, Miguel, do not steal anymore. Here's your blessing. But it's because he stole a guitar and wants to play in Capitol.
It's a passion of his.
This man is...
And they're going, stop being who you are. Stop doing what you love.
This is the biggest of bums.
Yes.
He is just lying.
It's such bad faith that I cannot believe it.
At least Bricky was out front. The JoJo review by an anime hater.
That's something.
This man is just going, oh, the Disney. Oh, the formula.
And if they said no, then he'd go to someone else and they'd say, okay. Or he'd find this celebrity guy and he'd just say, okay, because...
It wouldn't work like that because that's not his grandfather.
That's most certainly not his grandfather. And again, he said he wanted to earn his blessings. And they were putting conditions on it. So even if there was not a house party, without the house party, he goes, give me the blessing. No, give me the blessing. No, give me the blessing. No. Then he goes out and goes to Ernesto, goes, give me the blessing. No. Or yes.
Oh, wait, but it doesn't my grandfather. Work.
But so then what? He goes back and accepts the conditions and the movie is over while he is sitting here, and then it flashes for 80 years and he's just a miserable old man
shining a shoe.
What the is this?
It'd be easy. It'd be so easy. So they have to put these artificial barriers in our character's way.
Hey, you can go back, but no music. I can't accept that.
No, I will not accept that.
I'll go get it from my musician grandfather,
who I know will not put that condition on me.
Hey, he has an exclusive party, and it's super hard to get into, so we gotta find a way to get into it. I'm sorry that there is a barrier in a story.
To extend the runtime. But in doing that, it feels so limited and so uncreative.
How many times did you say uncreative? How many times did you say limited?
One or two.
Stupid. I am tired of these nothing descriptors. Nothing negative and positive descriptors.
He's very expressive and...
It seems like you padded the time of this review.
That's absolutely what it feels like, because he's not saying anything.
This could have been 17 minutes max.
Thing just
With
feels like
clips.
a plot device in this movie. Every single scene feels like they're just setting up a plot device to.
I thought they didn't connect. I thought they didn't connect to anything.
So now they're setting things up that you don't like, that you just call a plot device, and by calling something a plot device, that's automatically a criticism. We just explained the through line. There's nothing that could be taken out. If they found a guitar in the trash, you would call it contrived.
Convenient.
If they walked up to De La Cruz on the street, you would say that it was stupid or uncreative or of course he's just right there.
Like the spirit guides, like, oh, those are kind of neat looking. Oh, it's just a plot device later. Okay, this picture.
No, pause. That's how they track Miguel. This whole time, they explain the concept of spirit animals. I don't know if that's exactly a thing in the Day of the Dead myth or lore or celebration, but it's set up. Hey, there are these things in this world.
My man's is really mad that there were setups and payoffs.
Legit!
He's legit going. It feels like a setup to a plot device that we resolve later. They look cool. Oh, it's just used as a plot device. You just wanted a cool looking creature that does nothing? That has no relevancy to the story?
And then he called the plot unimportant. So then those creatures would be unimportant. And now he's going to the picture.
Picture with a torn face is kind of neat and has some backstory to it, but it's just a plot device later. Oh.
It's neat, it has backstory, and it's a plot device that gets resolved. What is the issue?
And in the first thing, it's just a torn out picture of this dude, and then it unfolds and he's holding a guitar, and it's like, no, I'm a motherfucking musician.
I honestly believe that he meant plot convenience.
I don't care what he meant.
A plot device is a storytelling tool or technique that is used to propel a narrative. Yes. The ripped picture is a plot device.
No, but just saying plot device means that it's automatically bad.
This song that they play throughout the entire movie is sort of catchy, but it's just a plot device later.
Yeah. Remember Me is absolutely a plot device, and it's the crux of the movie. Yes. It resolves the movie.
It shows how big of a piece that Ernesto is, that he took it and twisted it. It shows the connection between Hector and Coco,
which allows Coco to remember Hector, which allows Miguel to remember Hector for the rest of his natural life, because now he knows all the memories because Coco passed it on, and the rest of the family knows. And then the next year, the just sad putting of the picture.
That and Hector's face as he's getting scanned at the end. Those two things are the things that always get me. Because he's just so uncertain and scared. And then it's not even just like it's just a small little release smile. Oh, it's so good.
Oh, there's cameras in this world for some reason, but they're just plot devices later.
Why wouldn't there be cameras? Why wouldn't there be television and radio?
There's lights and things like that. They have the concept of electricity. This is a Bleach thing where we have to go, why are they in feudal Japan when there are ingeniuses living here? Why would there not be cameras? After you've got basically, as so long as you're remembered, an eternity of life, you have to feel it with something.
Plot devices later. Like every single aspect of this movie just feels like it's there to either stop our characters from progressing or force them to progress.
No natural progression. It forces them to progress. Every single aspect of this movie falls into those two things. Stop or forcing.
Force stop or force go. It's somebody throwing down trash cans while you're running. You better hurdle them or you're going to trip over the plot.
But when we had gold.
It pause. And then what happens? She sings and Hector dances.
And nothing else matters.
Holy it's so good.
So our main characters wander around a couple more scenes and then...
Oh my goodness.
Wander aimlessly, I guess, for a couple more scenes. Not like every location informed or set up or paid off something. Every location.
Every single location. They go over to the dude that's just like, hey, what's going on with Miguel? He's cursed. And then he leaves. He listens in on Hector. Figures out that he knows De La Cruz. They get together, and then the plot starts.
They get to Ernesto de la Cruz's mansion, where, wouldn't you know it,
Success doesn't come.
he isn't Miguel's great-great-grandfather, and he's actually a secret bad guy. Who could have seen this coming?
You said nothing about him being a secret bad guy.
I legit didn't.
I did not. There's no way that you could have known that he's such a piece of like that.
He's such a
There is literally nothing set up that shows you that he's a piece of garbage like that. Nothing outside of, the poisoning and crap like that. But there's no way that you could put those two things together like that. Nothing. Hector has no ill will against De La Cruz until the moment that he just realizes that he killed him.
On top of that, you look at it like even when Ernesto, like, it wasn't the same guitar. So Hector wasn't like, he stole my guitar, he stole my songs, he did all of this. He just went, even during that moment, Miguel is like, wait, you really did play with Ernesto de la Cruz? Because it just sounds like a bum just saying, I taught him everything he knows.
Because he's been lying this whole movie about, I know De La Cruz. Actually, I don't know De La Cruz. But
I do,
whatever.
but I can't get into the party. Whatevs. We'll find a way.
And he doesn't care about De La Cruz in the slightest. Because he goes, Remember Me is his best song. And then it cuts to the people playing Remember Me. He doesn't go, that was my song. He just goes, whatever. It doesn't really matter.
No. You can't play that song. Everyone's playing
it. He wasn't like, I secretly made that song, He don't give a... He's dying.
But now we're over an hour into this movie, and we actually have a villain, and we finally have a reason to root for our main characters. Where was this at the beginning of the movie?
Pause. Miguel wants to get a blessing before he dies from a musician, so he doesn't have the condition of if he plays music, he will return to the land of the dead.
Which makes his family the antagonist because they're so anti-music that they would rather not send him back with without that music condition. So you're rooting for Miguel to follow his dreams and his love of music.
We've also seen what happens when somebody is forgotten. Hector is slowly being forgotten, so we want him to go back. We want him to help Hector to go back to put his picture on the Ofuela so he can go back and visit whoever he wants to visit. These are what we want. Doesn't need to be a hard villain, but then we also got a hard villain.
I mean, who was the hard villain in the beginning of Mulan? It's not until you get about an hour in that you finally meet the actual bad guy of just like, we gotta defeat him.
And Big Buff Dude in Beauty and the Beast doesn't show up and become a real antagonist until the end.
Sid is not the antagonist of Toy Story, really. So who's the antagonist there? It's really just
jealousy and not wanting to be forgotten.
And Buzz coming to grips with who it really is. Who is the villain of the first Friday the 13th? Because they don't even show up till like 20 minutes before the end. Are you talking about?
And of course, he showed no examples of good Disney movies, so we don't know what he likes. Very creative.
Who was the villain in Moana? When did they show up?
You got Tomator, the big crab, and then the...
I've never seen Wall-E. Who's the villain? What's the villain?
I'm sure there was a villain. Zootopia. Villain shows up in the last, 20 minutes. Oh, he didn't like Zootopia. Sorry.
All the classic ones. Who's the villain of Ratatouille? And when do they actually become villainous?
I think there's a food critic.
Jeez. Cool.
There's no stakes to any...
No, man! Both of them are risking dying. And then,
I'm sorry. Are we calling this worse than Bricky?
We might have to.
Which means you got to do content.
I know.
But
I was thinking about it. Because this might be.
Because I cannot. He's doing all the Bricky things, but worse.
But worse, because he's being dishonest instead of just being an idiot. And just not saying anything. He's saying horribly wrong things.
There's no stakes to anything at the beginning of the movie. They come in more than an hour in. There's no reason to be invested.
There are stakes, but they're not the same stakes that end on the movie. The beginning of stakes is, I need to get back to be able, and while being able to play music.
Before sunrise, otherwise I will be stuck here.
And Hector, I need to put your picture up so you can go see your family.
And you won't be forgotten and go to the final death.
No, he'd still be forgotten. Because Miguel doesn't have real life. He just wanted to see his family before he died. Which could come at any time, as it happens 8 hours later.
In this movie until it's almost over. Why did you write a movie where there's nothing happening for almost 90 minutes?
There's nothing happening.
There's so much happening, but you weren't interested in what was going on. I love the stuff that happened even before and after the De La Cruz reveal. Loved it. Do you know how many times I sing Un Poco Loco?
It's such a good...
Do you know how many times I've rewatched that scene, just that one scene?
It's so good.
It's so good! What are we doing here?
What?
I'm gonna be a musician, just like you. Play, flowers come up. It's so good!
You done knocked out your headphones.
This is the first time this has happened for me. It happens constantly for you.
Happens a lot. I'm a flaily man.
What the
Who decided that was a good idea? Because I want to punch them in the face.
Pause.
It's so good!
And the worst part is, Cruz can sing. The man got pipes, but he's an uncreative bum who just wants without creating.
Plot point that helps our heroes beat the bad guy.
But how did...
You know what? Let's watch my favorite part again, shall we?
I'll kidnap 1,000 children before I let this company die.
You think I let it
Ernesto legitimately threw him off a building.
Off a building. And you see how clunky that was in Monsters Inc. I'm sorry if you like Monsters Inc., but that was very clunky. If you're like, I'll kill anyone that stands in my way. It was all Miguel going, no, this is what happened. And he's going, I'm Ernesto de la Cruz. I'll do what I want and what I need to do. He doesn't say, yeah, I killed him and I'll kill anybody that stands in my way.
It wasn't until he threw him off where the audience went, what the f?
Because other than that, it's just a spat of just he's the real musician. He goes, I'm Ernesto. Who cares?
And I love him walking away. The show must go on. And he kicks the hat. I love it.
That man. Oh my
He
goodness.
is filth. And the slow, when he turns around, the slow realization of Miguel coming back so he knows they saw everything. What a terrible person. He's so great.
After Hector is fine, his picture gets put up, everything is just fine. Who cares?
Oh, you want the movie? Cares? You want everything to not be fine. You want some things not to be fine. Were things not fine in Ratatouille? Were things not fine in Toy Story? All these other... Were things not fine in Zootopia? All these things that you apparently loved? Did they not end up fine?
Unbelievable.
You want a kids movie to just go, no, Bambi just dies too.
Miguel didn't make it. Coco forgot, and Hector is dust. Whoops. Sometimes it'd be like that, kids.
It'd be like that, kids. You're gonna learn today.
You will be forgotten, child.
Hey, Simba lost.
Simba wasn't strong enough. He was living on bugs all this time, not protein. Whoops. Oh, it's just Hyena Town now.
Whoops. That's what you wanted, huh?
Look at him! Look at him!
It's such a good movie.
It's ridiculously good. And then in the Hector's last outfit with the big hat and all the red. Not Hector, Miguel's with the big hat and all the red while he's playing. That outfit is so good.
And just takes the guitar, the ethereal, and starts playing with him. And the family, the ethereal family, and the actual family are just singing and dancing and playing together.
It's so f***ing good.
If you ask anybody that loves this movie why they love this movie, you'll usually get one of three answers, or a combination of all three.
Pause. Why do you like this movie?
Oh, dude. He's going to say the music.
Yep.
Because, of course, that's
and
number
the
one.
animation.
Yep. I don't even care. And I love the characters. Well, what he's going to say is the music, the animation, and maybe...
the emotion.
Maybe the emotion. But what's the... I love De La Cruz. I love him. He's such
so
garbage.
Good. He's a trash man.
I love Hector, Miguel. Dude, like, he is really just filth, y'all.
Number one, the animation is amazing. Which is fair. The animation is amazing. The second reason that a lot of people love this movie is for the soundtrack, which I don't understand.
There is not a non-banger to be found.
A non-banger in this movie.
The music here is not that good.
Okay, I guess it's not that good. I guess we were both wrong.
Hey, this is spoilers, y'all. This is easy Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
There are a variety of lyric-heavy songs where the characters sing and dance, and there are a plethora of background songs that are emotionally manipulative. And every single song that the characters sing in the movie is completely unmemorable.
You said that Remember Me was a pretty good song.
You make me un poco loco. Loco. The way you keep me guessing. I'm nodding and I'm yesing.
It's a really good one. Señoras y señores, buenas tardes, buenas noches,
buenas tardes, señoritas y señores. To be here with you tonight brings me joy.
Great love, we in love, for this music is my language, and the world is mi familia.
What are we doing?
What the f are we doing? The last song is so money.
With every beat of my
proud corazon. In both versions of Remember Me, Remember Me, Remember Me. Every time you sing about, oh my. All of them, huh?
Dude, one of my favorite songs is completely in Spanish.
Just Unmemorable. Unmemorable. You hear that? They're just all across the board unmemorable.
Well, everyone knows Juanita.
It's crazy how this dude is just so detached.
So detached, that's the word. You done checked out before you even set foot in. You walked in like a reverse Hector with a slight smile and they're going, I guess not.
Is completely unmemorable. I just watched the movie and I don't remember any of the songs. I can barely sing the big song, Remember Me. All I remember is Remember Me. Though I have to go away, remember me. Something. That's all I remember. I can barely sing 2 lines of the song, much less the rest of the songs. I can't even remember the rest of the songs. And there's one at the end of the movie. I don't remember any of them. They're all unmemorable.
That's a you problem.
That's a you problem, fam.
That's a you not paying attention problem.
Are bangers.
Legit bangers across the board.
I wouldn't put one below a 7.5.
It's crazy.
Special. Not only are every single song in this movie unmemorable, but they're all emotionally manipulative too.
And Poco Loco is emotionally manipulative as a song. Llorona is a manipulative song as a song. Or were the scenes surrounding them manipulative? Like, oh, I guess the Lion King, huh?
Which is a much more egregious problem with the songs. When, for example...
Pause. You don't remember them? I was just about to say you don't remember them.
When, for example, this scene right here, when this random guy that we don't care about dies and flies away, who we've known for 1 second, the movie plays this really sad guitar. Like,
pause! What else is I supposed to play in Nickelback? It's a sad scene. You accompany it with sad music. This is the basis of any sort of media. Anime, in movies, cartoons, whatever.
It wasn't even a sad music. It was really a joke song.
He said the background.
Oh,
once he flew away.
Yeah, what are you supposed to do? It's supposed to play Star Wars? It's supposed to, what the cantina music? That's what you wanted in the background. The cantina music. That's what you wanted it to play.
This is unbelievable.
Happy music for happy times. Sad music for sad times.
Jokey music for jokey times.
Guitar, like we're supposed to care about this? But we knew him for 1 second.
Pause. No context. Who could not look at that? Never seen Coco and just like, wow, that's pretty sad. If you go, that dude right there that just flew away, he's dead.
Forever. Not this, we come back in another plane dead. No, they dead.
I'm not going to tell you what his relationship with the dude that's still alive is. I'm not going to tell you his relationship. How do you feel? What are you supposed to feel with this? Oh, yeah, that's pretty sad. Why? It'd be a combination of the animation, the cinematography of closing up. The Hector's just sad, just defeated, just sort of hanging limply armed, the small toast. It's a lot of things in that.
So, what are you trying to communicate here? Do you want to...
That is a sad moment! You personally weren't sad, but that doesn't mean the moment itself cannot be sad. What did you want in the background?
What? I can understand.
You wanted something dubstep?
Sometimes scenes can breathe with no music. Sometimes it's sad music. There's no issue with that. It's not emotionally manipulative. And if it is emotionally manipulative, that's the purpose of media.
Okay, here. Do you want us to feel sad for somebody we don't care about? Or are you just trying to manipulate me emotionally with this stupid song? Why can't we just have our own experience with the movie? Why can't you just let us interpret the scene.
So cut out all music.
No music in any part of this.
Anything.
Any action parts. There is no nothing. It's just silence, and you interpret it yourself.
Yep, you just hear the explosions and the breathing.
How could this dude have done 2 years worth of movie reviews to this point and just go, music is emotionally manipulating me? Let me interpret how I feel about this moment. You can't like anything like that. You can't say any movie is good, because then I'll bounce back at you and be like, oh yeah, that Avengers moment, listen to that triumphant music. Let me interpret how it's supposed to be.
On our own. Disney goes out of their way to make sure that you feel the way that they want you to feel.
That sounds like what a movie's supposed to do. You're supposed to feel sad here. You're supposed to laugh here.
It's a movie. It's not just Disney. And you like Disney movies.
What is a movie that you like that didn't make you feel the way that they wanted you to feel? When did you cry during what is supposed to be a joke?
There could not be, because he's talking about music and how it manipulates him. So it has to be a movie completely in silence. And if you're talking about in Charlie Chaplin, I guess. No, Charlie Chaplin had the dinks.
And I know they changed it up when there was danger to danger music.
It'd have to be silent in movies.
It'd have to be Mr. Bean with no music behind it.
Force it on you. They say, this is a sad part, so here's a sad song.
Oh my goodness. Those darn dirty Disney executives.
How dare they play a sad song during a sad moment? How dare? Bruh, you're about to start doing some content.
I spoke too soon.
You spoke too soon.
Who would have thought?
Ricky was a month ago.
Who would have thought this random Coco video?
It wasn't a month ago. It was like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago.
No, it was the one before the end of viewer request month.
Yes.
So
that one lasted too. Yeah, Bricky had two. It was the first week and the second week for episode 1 and episode 2.
Let's see.
And episode 2 was where the one you were just like, nope, never again. So it's been about 2.5, 3 weeks.
8. Yep, there it is. It was a month ago. It was September 18th.
Oh yeah, we just did all of October.
Yeah.
That went by fast, didn't it? Huh, okay.
Big whoops on me.
Well, this is a happy part, so there's upbeat music.
Hey, did you know that these are aimed towards children? So, at a happy moment, maybe they'll have happy music for the kids? Did you also know that this happens in all forms of media?
All forms.
No matter what it is. Do you think 24 did not have epic music during times where things were exploding and stuff? Or did you think they had a sad piano in the background while explosions are going off? Which one do you think happened?
And is it good or bad that happened?
It forces you to try and feel the way it wants you to feel, even though...
No, it's helping you feel the way it wants you to feel.
It adds to the emotion.
I didn't feel that way throughout the entire movie.
Because you were detached. You were looking for breadcrumbs and the Disney formula. You were listening to the songs and going, I'm not going to remember this in 2 seconds.
This is my expression throughout the entire movie is just this. No matter what song was on, no matter what was happening, I was just like this.
There is no way that you could be like that for the entirety of the movie. Not a single joke, not a single sad moment, not a single thing that made you angry.
exasperated.
You're being hyperbolic to a
rolling your eyes
dishonest degree.
When you see the Disney formula, you're like, oh, that's his grandfather. Ugh. It would be like a whole movie of me doing Marine face. It's not gonna happen.
The animation, what you said is good. There is no shot that you went,
No, because he said it was epic and beautiful when it first happened. When you see the wide shot.
So he had to have made a different face.
Oh, ooh. Wow.
So he's just being dishonest.
Because it never earns anything. The movie doesn't earn anything it tries to accomplish. Everything that it just does so to try and manipulate you. It doesn't actually earn anything. And I know
it doesn't earn the tears you get at the end where Miguel is playing for Mama Coco. Yeah. They didn't earn that. They forced it on you. Then the execs were in attendance and just putting eye drops in people's eyes so they cried. Because you didn't feel that for real.
Emotion. It just flashes on the screen. Like, oh, this is emotion time.
People will cry at almost everything, and a lot of people say they cry in this movie, but I can't help but wonder why.
Pause. We have 3 cases
of grown men.
You and Mike. I think Pro Evil was just like, yeah, that got me. But we got 3 separate cases of just like, dang, this dumb movie, this dumb kids movie about a culture that I'm not familiar with basically at all. Got me. Got you. Got Mike.
There are 2 movies in my entire life that has made me cry. One was the Rugrats when I was a kid, the Rugrats movie. And this when I was a grown adult. Tears. Not even the first time, I was just misty-eyed. Second time, I knew it was coming. Whoa, what happened? Tears.
It doesn't ever earn your sympathy. It doesn't ever earn your emotions. It just is.
What movie earned your emotions? Sir?
Yeah, we don't know what he likes because his movie
did
is
Toy Story earn your emotion? Or did that also manipulate you?
You got a friend in me. Oh, they're friends now. Why couldn't you let me feel that, Toy Story?
Ugh.
It's a movie that is stupid and then pretends like it's not. The third thing that people love about this movie is the message about family, and that family's important, alive or dead. And that's fine. That message is fine. It's a message that Disney has pumped into their movies constantly.
So, you got a message, or you got 3 points that you said a lot of people like the movies for. One that you agree with, one that you don't agree with, and one that you think is fine. We're at 1.5. Half stuff that you didn't like, half stuff that you did like based upon what other people like.
But it's not bad. I don't care. It's forced in and it's obvious, but
it's forced in. The Day of the Dead is about remembering your family. How is it forced in if it is a movie about this concept about a holiday?
It's a kid's movie, so there has to be some kind of blatant message for kids to understand. That's fine. I don't have a problem with that. So why did I bring up these 3 big reasons? Well, again, these are the reasons that people love this movie. And I'm not trying to put you down if you love this movie. Again, everyone has a different experience with it. I'm not trying to take anything away from Mexican culture either. The only reason I bring these points up is because they are the only reasons that people like this movie.
Didn't mention the characters.
No, because he doesn't think people like it because of the characters.
Didn't mention the plot. Didn't mention the twist. Didn't mention the design of the characters. Didn't mention the voice acting. It's just those 3 reasons. I don't care about the family message. The movie is most certainly pretty. Soundtrack is banging.
Banger.
I am a character man through and through. And when a man can make a face of just small relief and it gets me after seeing everything that he went through, that's something.
No, it's not. It manipulated you. It forced it on you.
A picture on a wall. Come on now.
While they're just smiling about it, just like, yeah.
A character that said maybe 4 lines.
Which is not enough to make this a good movie. The animation, the message, and the music are only 3 aspects of Coco. And that is simply
out of
not enough to make this a good movie.
No. Okay. So if people go, why do you like this movie? And they name 3 things. That doesn't speak to them only liking those 3 things. Mm-hmm. That's just the 3 things that stuck out to them that they want to talk about immediately.
Their 3 favorite things. The 3 things that they connect with the most. Animation, you see that all throughout the movie. So of course that's going to be in your mind. Same thing with the music. Same thing with the family message. I'd take out 1 or 2 of them and put in characters.
Seize your moment.
There's so much more that makes a movie a movie.
Yeah, but you hated it. Like the setup of plot devices and the payoff of said plot devices. You hated that.
I am just going to name 3 things that nebulous people have or have not said. And then I'm going to say, no, y'all wrong. Movies
no,
are
not
more
even
than
wrong.
that.
Not enough. It's not enough.
Movies are more than that. You 3 nebulous people. People that say 3 nebulous points. Sorry.
A movie that people just seem to forget here. The characters are not interesting.
I find them interesting. I find Miguel, Hector, the great grandmother, and Dela Cruz interesting. If nobody else.
If nothing else.
The story is simplistic and.
There's nothing wrong with a simplistic story.
0% wrong with a simplistic story. Because if it was too complex of a story like Tenet, it's not for children.
But what happened with him saying it was contrived? Which is, in and of itself, a complex way to do things. A bunch of moving pieces and such.
Unbelievable.
Poorly structured.
Poorly structured, everything informs something else.
There is no wasted time here.
There are way too many cliches, plot devices.
You've mentioned 0 cliches. You mentioned a Disney formula, and it doesn't fit into the Disney formula.
That you yourself defined.
You defined it. You set it up. And it doesn't even fit into that.
There are way too many cliches, plot devices, and...
Let me again tell you what plot devices mean, and y'all tell me if there could be too many of them. A storytelling tool or technique that is used to propel a narrative. There are too many things that propel the narrative in the story. This man should not be allowed to review things.
He should not be allowed to use words that he thinks that he knows the meaning of.
He should not be allowed... He should take some time off. And learn how to articulate your points. Because you're just saying there's too many plot devices.
No,
that
because
is
he's grown up going, plot devices are a bad thing. So if I say it, that means that this is a bad thing. Cliches are in and of itself, blanket statement, a bad thing. So I could just say it has too many cliches, and that's a bad thing.
Contrived, trite things here. It's a cliche.
Contrived, trite things. Contrived. I'm gonna look up contrived.
And I'm gonna look up trite.
My God, this bum. Deliberately created rather than arising naturally or spontaneously.
Overused and consistently of little import, lacking originality or freshness.
So you think that nothing arrived naturally or spontaneously in this movie?
And there's nothing fresh in this movie. No originality. Nothing.
Shade, boring, poorly written, emotionally manipulative movie that doesn't even try to do anything new or different. It's a movie that is so creatively limited, and it feels like they just slapped this together in a night and then had amazing animators just try to fix all the problems. So, needless to say, this just doesn't work for me. I don't like this movie. Anyway, that'll do it for me. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.
Remember me, though I have to
say goodbye.
Pause. He talked about certain things padding out the movie. Is the beginning and ending not padding this out?
Correct.
Good shot. Probably took him a couple takes.
Remember me.
Yeah.
Worse than Bricky.
Worse than Bricky. Hey, what game do y'all want him to play?
How did it happen?
How did it happen
I'm
like
so
this?
stupid. How did I not think that somebody would be what happened? How? Dude. I'm so pissed. Not only did it happened so soon. And I was so sure of myself.
That was just like with the first episode. You were like, -10, that's the barometer, that's the metric, and then like 3 episodes later.
I'm so stupid.
There'll never be anything worse than Spit. And then like 10 episodes later.
This is in such poor faith. He's wrong about so much. He just disregard. What happened? Comments.
See, with Bricky, it was just like, I don't care enough, and I'm an idiot.
He's stupid. Whatever.
But
shut up.
With this dude, he's trying to take the movie down. I don't think Bricky was trying to take down JoJo's.
He was basically just giving his thought.
And
that was a
good.
pure opinion piece.
Yes, he's just not good at it. This dude is trying. How could you like the music? It emotionally manipulates you. Sad song or sad scene. Oh, here comes sad song.
I completely disagree with you.
Good man or woman.
Bro, they left the photo head out because they wanted a twist. I will say Remember Me brought a tear to my eye. I read that one. Well, maybe if you actually try to enjoy the film, you would actually enjoy it.
You don't even got to try to enjoy it. Try not to not enjoy it.
Instead of thinking of how it could go wrong. Maybe if you saw the beginning, disliked the exposition, and then from everywhere on, potentially bad things became red flags, so you stopped enjoying it. Maybe Miguel acts like a child because he is a child. It's a pretty long comment.
Yeah.
You keep bringing up the Disney formula, but you didn't highlight what it is. I think it would really benefit for the reveal if you actually brought out what it is. They read that one.
Because the only example he gave was not like this movie.
Hey, this is actually a really good review. I've seen Coco once and I barely even remember anything from it. It was another generic Disney movie. But anyways, you deserve more subscribers. Keep up the excellent content.
Hey, you agree with what I think, and so you deserve more. You didn't explain it. I'm not even saying your video was good, just that I agree that Coco was generic.
I don't know where this is coming from, but I didn't feel like it copied the Book of Life. The man did not talk about the Book of Life at all. You're just inserting your own. I completely agree with all your reasoning. The story is formulaic, but it's hard to find a film that isn't these days. The film, like so many Disney films, is for children, so the twist doesn't need to impress you. For me, the film, music, animation, and representation of Mexican culture, especially the interesting making of extras, I've never seen those. I might have to check those out, are what made the movie enjoyable. The fact that the Land of the Dead is built in layers based on time and even includes underworld representations of Aztec and Mayan level, for me, is not about the story, but the details of the film, which makes it mesmerizing. Yes, it's basically just going back and forth between unimportant, stupid, contrived. I had to stop there. I found the perfect description for this review. And the dude just says nothing.
Why would you?
He replied to it and just did a fire emoji.
All right there.
The animation is often many scenes. The Land of the Dead makes no sense. It's just purgatory where they die again. The villain is copied from Up, but worse. In the musical movie, there is not a catchy song. it's also weird that the granny retains her old form when she joins the dead parents who look way younger. Just lazy effort. The dude died when he was younger. We see dead children. Shut up.
You see, the great grandma has one little streak of gray, so she probably died in like her 50s, early 40s,
60s, maybe. But yeah, worse than Bricky. I'm gonna have to figure out what I'm gonna be doing for 4 separate streams and when I'm gonna be doing it.
Yep.
Because I am an idiot.
Yep.
And let that be known.
Yep.
This is not a good lead in to the 12-hour stream on the Saturday.
Oh shit! I forgot about that.
Prefer like a normal 5, -5.
Yeah, so we could just get that. Let's chill out for this one time, and then who could have seen?
Who? Legitimately. Who could have foreseen this random Coco review? And you remember in the beginning, I said I was looking at it through a critical eye. And I got almost nothing. Oh, one thing that I did think of, it was just like De La Cruz, odorless, colorless, flavorless poison that he just had on. I was just like, yeah.
But you know what? The alcohol could have masked that.
Yeah. But like little things that do not detract from the overall fantasticness of this movie. I was just sitting there watching it like, was this as good as I remember? I'm watching it like, is it better?
Did I remember it wrong? And it's even more gooder than I
did remember it wrong. It's better. So yeah.
Yeah, this is trash.
We'll have to set up something, a time, a date, and all this crap to figure out what I'm doing. Cause I made a promise and I'm gonna stick to it.
I'm gonna you should pick like 5 games, and then I'll put up a poll.
Hey, if y'all made it this far, write in the comments what you want me to play.
I'll also do it through the Discord
once it comes out.
Yeah.
I'll be playing Fall Guys. That's one of them, though. I'll do that.
Oh yeah, you can stream Fall Guys anytime.
This is trash. This is bullshit. Dude, I shouldn't have to do this.
Whose fault is it that you're doing it? You put out the challenge, and then you found the video.
There's so many things on this channel that are objectively my fault. Cause hey, guess who went? Let's do a 12-hour stream. Me.
It wasn't me.
Viewer request month. Me.
It wasn't me.
Oh my. I'm so mad. I'm really mad.
Cause like, guess who went? Hey, if there's another Bricky, if there's a worse Bricky, I'll do content.
And I can't even be like, there's not a worse this dude. Cause there is.
And we'll find it before the end of the year.
And before the end of the week. Man. Alright. Hey, let me put in the Discord real quick. I'm gonna just write a simple little message.
Oh, what's the message? I see DA is typing. You know they're gonna ask why. Again, I'm not feeling well.
And that's it.
Alright. See y'all Saturday for the big boy. Big boy.
What the? How? So soon? It's the so soon that part that's getting me.
It's always so soon too. Cause you would expect, oh, they're gonna find somebody. We're gonna find somebody. 7 months, 8 months. It's gonna come.
Next viewer request month. Somebody's gonna drop the bomb.
Alright. We're out of here. See y'all Saturday.
I'm so sad.